Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. It's time to have a look at the Valentine's Day event that is going on in War Thunder. It's pretty standard, it's something that we've seen before many different times, so I don't think it should be too confusing for people. But basically, from the 14th of February until the 16th of February, they are doing a Heart of Roses decal. All you have to do is play 3 battles using any nation to receive the Heart of Roses. You just have to make sure that you are at a minimum of rank 3 and also activity of 70%, and you'll get it, which is pretty cool. They have also brought back a decorations box in the item shop. Now, this decorations box has all of the old decorations from previous Valentine's Days. So the Anchor of Love, the Compound Bow, and also the Teddy Bear with a Heart. So if you're interested in any of those, they're all available too. 499 GE is the cost of them. And then also, since it's Valentine's Day, they're bringing back the Mark 9 Valentine. This is the Soviet Valentine. It's going to be 1,000 Golden Eagles and is going to be available from the 14th of February to the 16th. So this vehicle is only usually available at Valentine's Day, so if you want to pick it up, you have a 2-day period to make the decision. We'll go through it and my general thoughts on it, and also, at the same time, if you're looking to make any purchases, make sure to use my partner code in the description so you can get yourself a discount for it. Let's have a look at the Valentine. So the Mark 9 Valentine is an interesting one to kind of look at for the Soviets. It's definitely not the most powerful vehicle around, and they really try and sell it kind of on its rarity, that it only comes back once every year. But it still does have some quite nice factors, but it also has some pretty weak ones. The first one is just the lineup, and this is something that is the most important for a lot of vehicles, since nowadays there are a ton of things that can just destroy you in the game. So the lineup is basically this, which is really bad in ground. The air side of things actually for 3.0 is actually not too bad. You have quite a few options and it works really well. Whether you want an IL-2 or some event vehicles from back in the day, it's all good. The issue is the ground portion. The ground stuff for the Soviets is really focused around 3.7 nowadays and 4.0, so anything that is kind of below that, you have really janky lineups. So if you actually want to bring a full 3.0 lineup, you have to invest in something like the T126 as well, which, you know, is a good vehicle, but still is a little bit crazy. So you're just left with this lineup here, which, let's just say, is not the best around the place compared to a lot of other ones. You can get a much better premium somewhere as the T34E or the KV1E for you know, standard stuff to be able to get this stuff done. It's also a rank 2, which means it's not useful for events and also only useful for the first daily out of the 2, which isn't too useful, and that's, you know, not great as well. If you have a look at some of its other factors though, like the gun is fine, the penetration on it is good, and the overall targeting speed is fine, the reload of it is fine too. It's probably its best factor out of the whole machine. It does only have a crew of 3, so once it's penned through the front, it just dies. And this good old transmission is very British, I think is probably the way to put it. So what this means is it goes forward pretty quickly, like it's not too bad forward, but getting out of situations is not happening. So you have to really plan your routes. Because it has this 3-man crew and also this kind of hull, it's really easy to destroy too. So you can see here, this flat plate is 60 millimeters, and even hull down, you're only talking about maybe 60 millimeters in this area if you like hit it right. So basically, you need to pen 60 millimeters, which is most things at this BR. And if you can pen through here, if you can pen through here, you'll destroy the vehicle and it will pop. There's a reason why you don't see too many Valentines around the place, and that's pretty much it. Has a coaxial, oh no, sorry, doesn't have a coaxial on this one because of the gun breach and how large it is, which makes it even worse. So not even a machine gun to be able to bring it on. So if you like vehicles for their rarity and their uniqueness, I think it's worth picking it up. But if you're looking for an actual grinder, this isn't it. So just to let you know, Dead Island Riptide Definitive Edition is actually free on Steam right now, and it's free to keep. So that means if you actually put it in your library, you will keep it forever. So make sure to check that out and get it, because why not? It's a free game at the end of the day, and Dead Island is always fun, even though there is usually a bunch of bugs all over the place. It can be a good time. Now, let's have a chat about these events, because I feel like we're getting a lot of new events, which is quite cool, and new systems, which is quite nice, especially with stuff like the 292 around. But one of the things that also needs to have a look at is revitalizing old events, right? Like, you can't just be playing new events and not looking at the old ones. Stuff like Valentine's Day has been the same for maybe 5 to 6 years now. I can't even remember a single Valentine's Day where it was different, and that is kind of boring. You know, it would be nice to maybe change it up a bit. You could try and add some kind of historical context into the Valentine's Day. There's plenty of different stuff that you could do, even just for a week around these things, just to give it a bit of pizzazz. So, for example, if you wanted, obviously the Mark 9 Valentine is there, but you could make it so if someone plays a standard Valentine, and from the British tree, if you're able to get enough mission score in any of the Valentines, you would get, let's say, a camo from one of them, very similar to the Pages of History event, which is based around mission score and also a random prize. I think in general that would be nice, and also means that people will get access to something and may play a vehicle that, to be honest, they might not have played in a long time. One of the great things about the Pages of History for me is that it means I have a look at vehicles that I haven't really touched in ages, and that is, you know, something that I at least try and focus on to have, you know, a decent time with stuff. So why not kind of broaden it out for these kind of mini little events? Maybe they don't want to affect the matchmaker that much, but at the end of the day, even if everybody's playing Valentine's, I don't think that really puts a huge, you know, damper on anything. But yeah, just give people something standard to kind of look forward to too. And also, if people don't want to, you know, actually play the Valentines, you could just buy it and then it'll give you the camo, but it would just be one of the standard camos, so you don't even have to, you know, set it up in any way, or you don't have to, you know, change it up at all for this type of event. Another thing is just adding in something like a mission score part anyway. So you pick a specific date, which is, let's say, to do with Valentine's Day, whether it's, I don't know, maybe let's say 1969, which, you know, is is an interesting date. Maybe, I don't know, 1292, something like this, which isn't anything too crazy, but some kind of historic date, year, which is to do with Valentine's Day, right? Like something which kind of connects to it in some way, whether it's a religious side of it or whether it's a business side of it. No matter what it is, you just pick one of those dates, set it as a mission score or set it as a target for something, and then from there you can give a prize out for that. And once again, doesn't have to be anything crazy, you know, maybe a booster, maybe something else, just something to zhizh it up a little bit, so it's just slightly different from the norm. Otherwise, just, you know, you end up just doing the same things over and over again. Challenge-based stuff in War Thunder is super important to keep people interested, and also, when it comes to stuff like Valentine's Day, you obviously have the, you know, play 3 games, get the decal kind of thing, but you could even change that up into a different setup too. Maybe integrate it into other events that are going on right now. Maybe you could make it so you could put together a vehicle which is for Valentine's Day, but you would have to buy the blueprint for it and build it through challenges. Maybe just have general challenges so you can maybe get camouflages or access to bonus SL or something. Once again, it could just be like, hey, get 10 kills in the Valentine and you get, let's say, 2,500 SL, and the number would be tied to something which would be Valentine's Day related. No matter what, you know, it would just give people an incentive to play different areas and actually get involved in the event. Because as a person like me, who's been around for many years, and also knowing a lot of people have been around for many years, these types of events, they have really no appeal. because you're going to get the Heart of Roses decal anyway, because you're going to be playing doing the Mark of Distinction for tankers, but there isn't really anything to kind of guide you on what to have a look at or what to go for. So it's just going to appear, and that's what you're going to get. And that kind of sucks, you know? It would be nice if you had more of a tailored event. They could even bring back some of the old event stuff, whether it was like Atomic Heart, or whether it was Tailspin, or something like that, and just run it for a few days. And once again, if you get a certain amount of mission score, you get something small. It doesn't even have to be anything big. I feel like a lot of people are worried about grandioso prizes, but what we've seen in the past is even small prizes are good incentives for people to give a go at something and have a bit of fun and experience a different part of the game instead of just the general grind. That to me would be awesome, and hopefully they do stuff like that going forward. But make sure to pick up Dead Island Riptide Definitive Edition for free on Steam. Make sure to have a look at the Valentine for the Soviets, and get yourself the Heart of the Roses decal. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd like to thank Schnitzel Stroker, Brendan Quinn, Vilneus, Character Fuel, Carrion Crow, Nicholas Richardson, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, B. Young, Opium Prime, Masonocrat, Lafouche, Alan Hacker, Sem Arslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.